last week's well-played 2-1 victory over Vancouver, the Rhinos are looking for 3 more points tonight against NSC Minnesota. It's the second meeting of the season. Rochester and NSC Minnesota are next on the Rhinos Broadcast Network. And happy Friday evening to all the soccer fans out there. Tonight, the Rochester Rhinos embark on game number 10 of the season as they play host to the NSC Minnesota Stars. Good evening, I'm Joe Giuliano, the voice of the Rochester Rhinos, and filling in for Mike Kerms. We're going to go back to the past, not the coaching days, but his color analyst days, and now the general manager of the Rochester Rhinos, Pat Erkley, filling in for Mike Kerms tonight. Pat, welcome back to the broadcast.
Joe, it's great to be here. Thanks a lot for having me back.
Great to have you back as well this evening as the Rochester Rhinos take on the NSC Minnesota Stars for the second time this season. They met on April the 28th in Blaine, Minnesota, where Rochester came away with a 3-0 victory. And Rochester is going to have to control one player they probably know pretty well. He was with Rochester from 2006 through 2009, and that's the guy who wears number 10, Coach.
Definitely. If you give him room, obviously he can hurt you. We've known that in the past, and even in the first game up there, it was a close battle. Even though the score indicates 3-0, there was a point in the game where he hit the post, and he could have turned the game around for them. So he's only had one goal, but again, he's coming back from injury that, he came back kind of early on, because a lot of people were expecting him not to be back until mid-season, and he started the season with them. So you got to give him some time to get his legs back, and I think, this could be a breakout game for him if we don't contain him.
Sure, a lot to prove for Johnny Menyager. Also in that Minnesota game on April the 28th, Wasson missed a penalty kick in stoppage time. Well, for the home side tonight, the Rochester Rhinos, a familiar face is back in goal in Scott Vall, but we're going to talk about the guy at the other end of the field, Anthony Hamilton. He got the game winner last week, and a bit of a different formation, but Hamilton came up big for Bob Lilly and the Rhinos.
Yeah, Hamilton's been playing great. He didn't play in the previous home game here because we had like 3 games in a row there. But every time he's been in, he's been dangerous, and he's obviously been able to hit the back of the net for us. He needs to continue to do that for us. And the last game, obviously, was the lone striker up there. So that's a lot of hard work for a lone striker to do and actually get a key goal like that, like he did. He's certainly somebody that they have to contain tonight, because he's definitely somebody that's been a difference for us.
So Rochester will go with that same formation we saw against Vancouver last week. And earlier today we spoke with Rhinos head coach Bob Lilly.
Well, hopefully we can carry that into tonight's game. I mean, we were sharp with the ball, created a number of good chances, and, I thought defended very well, up until the late stages. But, we want to be efficient. We want to, obviously make their goalkeeper work and make sure we're playing attractive football for the home fans.
All right, Pat Erkley is back for tonight's broadcast. The Rhinos and NSC Minnesota, they're coming up next right here on the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
The web has revolutionized the way people shop for virtually everything, and AuctionDirect.com has done the same for shopping for used vehicles. Buy the finest used vehicles, whether we have it in inventory or you want us to go out and find it. Sell your used vehicle, whether you're purchasing a vehicle from us or not. And research comparable prices at every other dealership in the area so you're 100% confident and 100% satisfied. AuctionDirect.com. The lowest price, the best experience.
If you want to sell your car or truck, don't go through the headache of placing ads. Go to CashMyCar.com, because CashMyCar.com will buy your vehicle on the spot. We'll give you the most money possible, and we'll do all the paperwork. Get to our authorized redemption center at 941 Ridge Road in Webster. Don't sell or trade your car. Go to CashMyCar.com. Call 1-800-616-7185. CashMyCar.com, where your car turns into cash. CashMyCar.com.
World Gym Rochester is MMA. Learn all aspects of mixed martial arts from our fully trained staff. Step into the cage and see what it takes to become an MMA fighter. Break your routine with Monroe County CrossFit at World Gym. This intense, real-world functional training puts your body to the test. Increase muscle, stamina, speed, strength, and agility. Become a new you. MMA and CrossFit, the revolution of fitness. Learn more online at WorldGymRochester.com. Don't settle for failure. World Gym Rochester, your complete fitness facility.
Watch Rochester Rhinos soccer this summer, only on Time Warner Cable Sportsnet, Rochester's sports network.
If you want to sell your car or truck, don't go through the headache of placing ads. Go to CashMyCar.com, because CashMyCar.com will buy your vehicle on the spot. We'll give you the most money possible, and we'll do all the paperwork. Get to our authorized redemption center at 941 Ridge Road in Webster. Don't sell or trade your car. Go to CashMyCar.com. Call 1-800-616-7185. CashMyCar.com, where your car turns into cash. CashMyCar.com.
Time Warner Cable is dedicated to the future of our nation's children. That's why we've launched our Connect a Million Minds initiative. We're asking adults to help us inspire kids through science, technology, engineering, and math. And we're achieving this through local partnerships with FIRST. Across the country, Time Warner Cable employees are helping bring FIRST robotics competitions to the areas we serve. The future of our nation and our children depends on math, science, and technology. Visit connectamillionminds.com to find out what you can do.
And welcome to Marina Auto Stadium. Joe Giuliano with the general manager this evening, joining us, Pat Erkley, former coach, former color analyst, and who knows what's next for Pat Erkley. Pat, welcome back to the broadcast booth, and great to work with you once again.
It's great to be here. Obviously, Mike Kerms is doing a great job for us, although I haven't had the opportunity to listen to him. But I've heard from a lot of people that he's filling in nicely for me.
He's learned from the best. He's a lot of your quotes and a lot of your comments over his years playing for you with the Rochester Rhinos, as Rex getting the crowd pumped up for Rochester and NSC Minnesota. The first ever visit for the Minnesota Stars. Rochester 4-3-2. They have 14 points. Minnesota 3-7-1 with 10 points in the USL Conference. As the Rhinos huddling up, NSC Minnesota in the all yellow, ready and onto the pitch. Rochester still on the sideline.
And, you know, they haven't had much fortune over the last few games. Obviously, they haven't been on the winning side of things. But you can't take them lightly. I watched maybe about 3 or 4 games ago. They were up in Montreal, and they were actually leading the game 2-1. And then I believe there was a ejection from the game, and Montreal got a penalty shot and were able to get back in the game. So how unusual in Montreal.
Yeah, imagine, surprise, surprise, something you've never seen before. The Lagos going with a 4-4-2. Warren starting in the nets. Clements, Friedland on the outside. Altman and Arango centrally. Gao and Davies on the flanks with Takata and Manyanger, maybe a little just withdrawn behind Civilicus and Tarley up top. As Rochester wearing the white and black striped tops with the black shorts and black socks. We'll look at their formation. Same exact tactical formation the Rhinos used last week, 4-1-4-1. But Vallow gets the start over Kitson this evening. Roberts and Bellamy in the middle, Greenfield, Sanfilippo on the flanks. Pitch Colin just in front of the back four with Franks, Rosenlund, Hines, and Spicer making up the midfield with Hamilton alone up top. And we are underway here at Marina Auto Stadium as the Stars send the ball deep into the Rhinos half of the field. Bellamy gets it forward off the chest of Hamilton. But the Stars try to keep possession in the Rhinos half of the field. Tarley called for a handball early on here. Your official this evening is Hidajet Tika. Assistant referees are Ron D'Ambrosia and Andrew Soros. And your fourth official is James Bell.
And again, for the Rhinos this evening, they got to maintain that intensity and speed of play that they have been maintaining. And, having won that last game at home, coming back from a Vancouver loss in Vancouver and a Baltimore loss, and then responding the way they did last week, they can't take Minnesota lightly. And it's tough because, you went to Minnesota and beat them 3-0 at home, and then you beat Vancouver here at home last week.
It was a manhandling in Minnesota on April the 28th where Nunez had 2 goals, and then Rich Costanzo, the former Thunder player, scored as well.
And you just can't take it lightly because then that game where they won 3-0 will be negated if you don't get a result here this evening.
Here's Gow with it, plays it back into the 18 for Warren, the 35-year-old goalkeeper. Now plays it on the far side for Friedland. He's got some space to push forward. Sends a long ball, looking for Tarley. He stops his run, and Roberts will let it roll through into the arms of Scott Vallow, making his first start.
And Warren actually retired for a year, I think, and then came back. And actually, in the Montreal game, he made a great save on a penalty shot.
Do you think it's easier for a goalkeeper to take a year off and come back in comparison to a guy who's in the middle of the pitch?
It depends what you were doing for that year.
Good answer. Good, safe answer. Vallow's going to let this one roll over the
other line. As long as he's not eating a lot of pasta, he should be able to come back.
With a name like Warren, I think he's okay. We are in the 3rd minute at Marina Auto Stadium. A beautiful night for soccer. Comfortable, cool conditions. And the Rhinos, nice little homestand going on here. As Vallow, again, we talked about him. His first start since May the 8th. That was a 2-1 win against AC St. Louis. And that one, Coach, he gave up probably one of the tougher ones of his career on that free kick that popped over his head.
Yeah, it was that long shot. But, you got to take into consideration the conditions that evening. I mean, obviously there was a lot of wind, and here you go. You have Younger getting free there and getting a shot on goal at a bad angle, but obviously he shows that he still has some speed up front there. So you really got to take the element into consideration that evening. But it's good to get Kitson in there. Obviously, you played 3 games in a row, and he had played before that in Minnesota and did well. And here you go, the replay with that shot.
30-year-old Johnny Younger just setting that one wide. Here's Roberts now with it. Roberts to Sanfilippo, the team captain, near side for Spicer. Now back to Frankie Sanfilippo on the near side. There's Troy Roberts. Rochester with this 4-1-4-1 formation. Spicer lets it roll through. He's looking for Rosenlund, but Takata takes possession, and Clemens has it now. Vossen gets a touch on it. Far side for Friedland.
Another thing about Minnesota, you really can't take them lightly because of the coach. I mean, you have Manny Lagos on the bench there also with them, and someone that has experience having played at a very high level, and certainly doesn't take losing very kindly. And he's the type of guy like his father, obviously, that's going to find the solution over a course of time. And let's hope the time isn't tonight.
Yeah, the bloodlines are there. The great Buzz Lagos. Now he's actually a color commentator for Minnesota broadcasts. Enjoy watching coverage from the National Sports Center. And always good to hear Buzz's analysis of the game. Throwing here on the near side. 5th minute and scoreless. Throwing up over midfield. Sanfilippo and Tarley looking for the loose ball. Sanfilippo get it back to the chest of Roberts. Pops this one high up in the air towards midfield. Hamilton gets there in front of Clements, and it's out of bounds. Throwing coming up here for the Stars, who are 3-7-1. Giving up 19 goals this year. That's the most in the USSF second division.
And I'm sure Manny's obviously told them, this is a pivotal game for us, guys. Although we've lost 7, we still have 3 wins under our belt. If we start to put some wins together here, we're right in the thick of things. I mean, point-wise, they're not that far behind.
A lot of soccer still to be played as Pitch Colin's ball gets behind Clements, but Arango is there. He was extremely busy in that first meeting in Minnesota on April the 28th. Gets his first touch on it here. Sanfilippo with the throw-in right at midfield.
And you had Costanza was in the lineup that night, and Nunez was in the lineup, and Carlos Aguilera. So we have a deep team, and those guys did a great number on them that night. They got 3 goals out of the core of those 3 that I mentioned, and those 3 obviously are not on the field tonight.
It's almost getting to the point where Bob Lilly's having to make some tough decisions as to who gets to dress for the 18. That's a good spot to be in for the Rhinos and their fans.
Oh, it's very important, especially with the amount of games that'll be coming up with Open Cup coming in, and over the next 3, 4, 5 weeks, you're going to find that we're going to be playing 3 games a week.
There's Friedland, cuts it back to his left, gets across into the box. Headed out of there by Spicer, Rosenlund. And the foot race there, Takata gets there first. Clements back to Takata. A little forcing the issue there, and that goes out of bounds, throwing for the Rhinos. 7th minute and scoreless. Bellamy mishits this one and gives Minnesota possession. The throw in deep in the Rhinos' half of the field. Minnesota 19 goals against, 10 goals for. There's a foul called on Sanfilippo. Free kick coming up for the Stars. Gao and Wasson over the ball. And Civilicus, he's one player that we saw last year when the Thunder came to town. For some reason, we were calling his name quite a bit.
Yeah, and he has 2 goals and 2 assists this year. He's definitely somebody, even in the game that I happened to catch with Montreal, he was very active up front and creating some opportunities for them.
There's Hamilton on the outbreak, or the breakout. Breakout, same thing. Hines now, slowing it down, looking for some help. There's a regroup here.
And what's happening now is Minnesota's getting numbers behind the ball, so it's been a little more difficult for us to try to break it. They're playing it 4-4-2, and at times it looks like a 4-2-4.
Franks gets dumped by Gao. As the official, Deja Tika, has a word for Lele Gao, the 29-year-old. He's got 1 goal this year in 9 games played. As you can look at the replay, Franks was thorn in the side last week, and he gets whacked from behind. Franks back to Sanfilippo, near side. Rosenlund not going to get there. Gao has possession. Takata to the big 6'3" forward, Civilicus. His touch is off the mark, and Rochester takes possession. Sanfilippo now on the near side. Franks is dumped again. Not giving him any time to touch the ball. As the referee says, play on, as Takata was roughed up a little bit, but possession still for Minnesota. Menyanger now with it. Tarley spins, 3 Rhino defenders around him. He loses possession, but still big and strong, able to fight back against his former teammate Jonathan Greenfield. It's over the head of Hamilton. Rango's got time and space. Big group here in the middle of the field. Clements just drives it forward. Sanfilippo gets it to Pitchcole, who's got some space. Trying to thread the needle there, looking for Spicer. Gets in behind Clements, and a good slide tackle there. And the outside defender.
And that's the key there. See, because Pitchcolin's sitting in behind the midfielders, he doesn't always get picked up by the other team. So when there are some breakdowns, he's able to get in a good position where he can thread the pass like that. And laid a great ball there for Spicer.
Pitchcolin scored a goal last week. What's on the table there? Here's Spicer's high, deep corner kick. Top of the 18, Rosenlund with the right foot off the crossbar. The rebound at the 12 and cleared away by the Thunder. As Menyanger clears away the danger. Here's Hines with it now. And boy, oh boy, did Rosenlund get a hold of that one. Spicer, driven cross, top of the 18. Rango clears it out to the near side where Franks takes possession to Rosenlund. Nice backheel pass for Jamie Franks. Wasson marking him. Corner of the 18, Rosenlund. Knocked off the ball, throwing for the Rhinos.
Yeah, Rosenlund called off. I don't know exactly who it was, but he was able to get behind that shot and unfortunately hit the bottom of the crossbar.
Not even sure if Warren moved on it. Sanfilippo, high cross over everyone. And Warren will step out and pick that one up. Joe Warren dodging a bullet there. And let's take a look at the replay as Rosenland unleashes a right-footed blast.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to hit it quicker, but then kind of hesitated a little bit.
And Bellamy was actually
it looked like
in the
Bellamy.
way.
Yeah, he was kind of calling him off, so it took a little time, more than it should have.
Bellamy just at the last second steps out of the way, and Warren takes a step to the side, but he's clearly beat.
It's too bad he didn't hit it in the goal.
Yeah, unlucky for Rosenland, who had his first goal to go along with 2 assists.
Yeah, and he had a great preseason. He'd scored quite a few goals for us in the preseason, and he's very active, and that would have been nice to get one for him tonight.
As Roberts will head this one up the field to Hines.
I mean, it's key for our team to, especially the midfielders, to get some goals. So you get goals coming from a variety of people. So it really forces the opponent to look at everybody on that team and not just specific people that can score.
Are you kidding me? San Filippo does a good job to keep it in bounds. Manny Lagos not happy that the ball was kept in play, as he's talking to the 4th official and the referee's assistant on the near side. For Rochester, they have kept 3 players from last season.
Great play.
San Filippo now to Spicer, overlapping. San Filippo on the near side, gets across, deflected, and one hop inside the 6 where Warren will pick it up. I was just saying, it's been an extremely busy offseason for you and Bob Lilly, basically rebuilding this team. Bellamy.
Yeah, we decided, looking at the roster from last year that, we needed to get a little younger, and when we started to look at everybody, we just determined that for the most part we had to clean house.
The 3 players who've stayed are Hines, Short, and Scott Vallow. And Menyanger, 4 great seasons here, 28 goals with the Rhinos. That must have been a tough one.
He was a two-time MVP, a lot of goals, a lot of good years for the Rhinos. We knew he was going to be coming off an injury, and we didn't, like we said, we thought he was going to be mid-season by the time we got that opportunity to get him in the lineup. And by that time, we were figuring that we'd be solidified as a team, and it would be tough. And it just became an easier thing, especially for him, being from Minnesota, that he had the opportunity to go back there, and we had the opportunity to rebuild.
Huge coaching presence with the youth in Minnesota. Johnny Menyanger, family still living there. They're enjoying tonight's broadcast here on the Rhinos Broadcast Network. 14th minute and scoreless. Wasson gets a touch on it.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was difficult for him. His family stayed in Minnesota during the season, so it was always, I'm sure, not an easy summer all the time. You have family in another part of the country.
Long distance summers for Johnny Menyanger, number 10. As Arango plays it, middle of the field now. Stars looking for some attack with Gao. Forced to come back to Arango. Clements, one touch forward, can Tarley keep it in? Nope, that's out of bounds. And a throw in for the Rhinos. Melvin Tarley, the 27-year-old, his 4th stint with the Minnesota Soccer Club, if you count the Stars and the Thunder. This one's out of bounds, and a throw-in coming up for San Filippo on the near sideline. Hamilton. Rosenland, quick touch to Franks. Rochester now some space on the far side. Former Minnesota player Greenfield with it. Touches it for Hines. Hard low cross, and Warren steps in front of that one. Picks it up at the 6. There's Gao, 29-year-old. He's played in China, New Zealand, and Finland. Here's Menyanger, heavy first touch, but able to keep possession for Minnesota. He popped that one in the air. Savilikis.
And that's key in the formation that we're playing, that the 4 midfielders are able to nip some balls there in the midfield and create some counterattack situations. And it's almost happened a couple of times, but Menyanger and the other midfielders have been able to keep control and not give the ball away.
Here's Wasson.
But that's the type of thing that can happen, where you pick it up right away and you're countering on 3 defenders.
Stepped in front of the ball there, looking for Savilikis. That was Friedland. Rochester able to Keep possession with Spicer. Cuts around Clements now. And the burst into the open field. Diagonal run from Hamilton inside the 18. Outside for Sanfilippo. Takes one touch. Back to Jamie Franks. For an opening to cross. Menyanger closes down that lane. Hamilton tries the 1-2 with Franks, and he goes up and over the head of the midfielder.
Just a little heavy foot on that one. But now there's a little more activity between Hamilton and the midfielders, and key too from a standpoint in this formation that when we do get the ball out wide and we have people get in the box, because with only one forward up there, that's not going to create a lot of opportunities.
For Rosenlund and Franks and the rest of the guys to push up into the attack. Even Hines, Spicer. We get 5 options that can push up and
well, that's it.
go forward.
The options are out there, so it's key that we get the numbers in the box.
Throw-in coming up for Clements as he's asked to go back about 20 yards. Plays it to Arango. He's played with Montreal, Toronto. He's a Canadian under 23 and under 20 national team as well. His 3rd season now with the Thunder. Altman to Arango. Takata. Nice little flick from Tarley. Menyanger gets the chip over Roberts. He's taken down, and it'll be a free kick for the Stars. About 30 yards away, just to the right of Scott Vallow. Wasson to take this one. Now Wasson in the last meeting missed a PK in stoppage time that would have taken away the clean sheet of Neil Kitson. That game ended up 3-0. 3-man wall for Wasson. Gow up also, taking a look at this one.
Yeah, I mean, from this distance, it's got to be a tremendous shot. But my assumption is they're going to obviously go to exactly that.
Short to Takata, and he gets a touch and then a shot away. That's high and up over the bar. 18th minute. Scoreless, Minnesota and Rochester. Rochester coming off a 2-1 win against Vancouver after losing 2-0 at Swangard Stadium. Minnesota, a 3-2 win over AC St. Louis. Lavity with the game-winning goal. Minnesota was 0-5-1 before that St. Louis game.
And, throughout the course of the season, you get to see what your team's made out of. And, having lost at home to Baltimore and then going to Vancouver 2 days later and losing in Vancouver, and you had that pivotal game against Vancouver coming back here when they only had 2 goals against them. You get to see how people respond and what your team's made out of, and I think we had a great response there. So the first test was kind of won by the players, so they show that they have the ability to come back from adversity.
You speak of finding out what teams are made of. I'm anxious to see what teams like Austin and Tampa Bay are made of. They've kind of shocked the league, don't you think?
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at the fact that we went down there, we were able to beat Austin in Austin. But they're doing well. They've added some people, and I think that they're definitely teams to contend with this year. And there's not many teams in this league that you don't have to be concerned about.
Parity is a big issue. I talked to Carter Krishnaier about that as well. He's extremely happy with the level of play in the league. As the Rhinos have a throw-in on the far side of the field.
I mean, you saw Carolina was struggling there at the beginning, and then all of a sudden they go up to Montreal, and they went up in Montreal. So it's going to be an interesting season.
As Rosenlund looks for Hamilton there, Menyanger comes away with it, the captain for Minnesota. Plays it back to Altman. Altman, a 24-year-old, 11 games played with 1 goal this year. Took 2009 off to finish his college degree. In 08, he played with the Thunder, 15 games played. Here's Menyanger. Typical patented cutback move. Gets it to Civilicus.
But you can see the numbers. Our midfielders are getting back there. So, I mean, they're congesting the midfield. So Menyanger really doesn't have a lot of space. But that's the type of situation where if he nips that ball properly without fouling the player, that there's a good counterattack opportunity.
Takata was dumped. And a free kick here now, about 35 yards away, almost dead center. Wasson and Gow, looks like they're the 2 guys who start these things. Little chip to the far side of the box. Hines heads it off of Friedland.
Double header.
Yeah, has it ever. And Hines Comes in hard in the challenge with Friedland. Gao picks up the loose ball. Takata had some visa issues. Those problems were resolved. End of May, started playing games here with Minnesota. Menyanger. Nice soft little touch, double team, puts it through the legs of Sanfilippo, but knocked out of bounds. Clements, quick restart by Minnesota. Wasson.
Yeah, and that's a pass, a square pass that's about 30 yards in the middle of the field that we need to nip. Our midfielders got to anticipate that.
Wasson lays it off for Gao. Frank's working hard. Minnesota trying to start the attack here. And Younger, Clements, near side of the 18. Back to Johnny Menyanger. Driven cross, Zvilikis up and over his head. Hines on the far side. Keeps this one inbounds. That ball's knocked forward to the 18 for Zvilikis. Tries to cut around Bellamy, and a good job by the young defender to stop the Minnesota attack there in the 18. Sakata. Then Younger. There's Tarley. Clements. And Spicer is going to get there just to knock it out of bounds. Pat Melvin Tarley, 27 years old. He's played with Puerto Rico, Miami. He's been all over the place. And the book on him, I guess, is hot and cold. Sometimes he's absolutely fantastic. Sometimes he's invisible.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's been in Minnesota, and I think he was there last year, too, if I recall.
He's in and out. He's got loans with MLS teams, and just can't seem to find that consistent scoring touch.
And that's the key. I mean, you know, if you're hot and cold, coaches are sitting there going, okay.
Who's going to show up?
Yeah, who's showing up today? But again, it comes back to winning. If you're winning, then you're able to give the time to an athlete like that to find his stride. But if you're not winning, then it becomes a little more difficult.
That long ball from Roberts out of bounds, and a throw in for Minnesota on the far side. It will be Friedland to take it. We are in the 23rd minute, about midway through half number one, and scoreless. Friedland taking a little liberty there with about 5 or 10 yards. And Tika, your official, be a little off the mark with that touch as he wants him to go back a little further. Zvilikis gets the header back from Tarley. Collision at midfield, and they're going to say handball on Zvilikis, the 26-year-old. Quickly taken to Bellamy, rookie out of St. Bonaventure University, Tyler Bellamy. 5th appearance of the season. Here's Pitch Colin. Actually his first time facing Minnesota. He had a red card, so he sat next to me in the press box at NSC for the 3-0 win on April the 28th. So he gets his first look at the team on the pitch. Wasson was offsides, and he'll just let that go back to the top of the 18 where Vallo rolls it out to Frankie Sanfilippo. Sanfilippo with 1 assist this year. He's played with Syracuse, Rochester, Carolina, and Charleston. There's Greenfield now. Playing on the left side of defense. Hamilton, Franks, trying to get in behind his Hines. Friedland reads the play well, breaks it up there. Altman, long ball looking for Tarley. Hops over the head of Bellamy. Sanfilippo takes no chances. Rolls it back to Scott Vallo. 6th game of the year for Scott Vallo. He is 2-1-2 with a 1.00 goals against average. Hamilton fighting with Arango. This loose ball ends up on the foot of Clements.
You look at Spicer and Hamilton, 2 players that really at the beginning of our season they had some injuries, so they hadn't played like the first 3 games. So Spicer's still trying to find his stride. He recovered from somewhat of a serious calf injury that kept reoccurring. So he's really only starting to see his game legs.
Spicer on the outside of midfield. This one's for Gao. He was looking to go from distance there. Rosenlin shuts the door. There's Clements now. Takata. Back to Andres Arango. Wasson quickly gets it out to the far side for Altman. Tarley can't keep possession there. And Troy Roberts gets it out to Jonathan Greenfield. Pitch Colin sticks the leg out, keeps possession, middle of the field for Rosenlund.
And this is what we need to look at. I mean, basically, when you're congested on that one side of the field, you got to be able to switch the field quickly and get numbers on that side of the field. So you have Sam Filippo and Spicer on this side of the field. If you're able to really switch that ball real quickly, these two can overlap and do some danger on this side because it's the weak side.
Oh, bad giveaway top of the 18 by Clements. Hamilton not expecting it. That's a softer touch. He's in on goal.
And that's what I was saying earlier. It just was up the field here where they did the square pass of 20, 30 yards. And they did the same thing at the top of the 18 here.
Dangerous.
If we're alert, we got an opportunity there.
Manny Lagos not going to be happy with those dangerous square balls at the top of the 18. Pay the price with those. Altman on the far side now. 27th minute. And we are scoreless. 2 shots for Rochester, 1 for Minnesota. And Yager spinning, dancing away from traffic. Wasson, Tarley now. Lays it off for Wasson again. Roseland tracking back, steals the ball away nicely for the Rhinos. Here's Sanfilippo now with some space on the near side. Bellamy. Rosenlund from British Columbia, part of that UC Santa Barbara NCAA championship team for Hines. Heads it into the 18. And this one is going to be a foul on Hines as he takes down Friedland.
I think the ball went over the touchline before he touched him.
Friedland over the end line picks up a restart here for the Stars. Replaced the Minnesota Thunder, and Minnesota's had some interesting teams over the past. The North American Soccer League, the Minnesota Kicks. Did you ever play there when they were in the league?
Yeah, I did actually. We played on a baseball field. They had Ace Nessalingus as the striker. And obviously a few other talented players, but he was the one that I remember most.
He was one of the standouts in the North American Soccer League. Tino Lettieri, the goalie.
Yeah.
Pint-sized,
Canadian. Yeah.
But great goalie for his size, great reflexes. Clements now to Wasson, Gao. And that's going to lose track.
But you could see Roseland was in the midfield talking to the defense, saying, guys, when we push up, you got to come up with us. We got to put pressure on them as we're moving forward as a team. If we lay off and we're actually watching the spectators, then they get the opportunity to get down the field again. And, it's easier to play in their half of the field than the middle half of the field.
Absolutely. That's where the game's won and lost. And Franks, he's taking a beating. Altman got a piece of him there. And last week, he seemed to have a ton of time to kind of dance around and find space. Tonight, not happening, but Sanfilippo is going to keep this one inbounds.
Yeah, and that's a great ball that he put out there for him.
Driven cross is going to trickle out of the 18. Svilikis fighting with it against Rosenlund. Plays it forward now. That goes out of bounds, back into play. Throw in for the Rhinos. Quickly taken by Greenfield to Bellamy. Greenfield's 9th appearance for the South African. Spicer back to Franks. Loose ball picked up here as it's bouncing around middle of the field. Clements, no chances, goes deep down into the Rhinos half of the field. Roberts is the Iron Man for this team. Rosenlund, dangerous ball to the top of the 18, not swerving enough for Hamilton to beat Warren to it.
And I mean, you got to give Minnesota's the type of team, obviously, if you stay stagnant, you stay in your positions, they're going to be able to cover you and they're going to be able to play in a game against you. I think it's key for us, like you have Spicer coming into the middle, you have movement from Franks and Roseland in the middle. They're not staying stagnant within their positions. Then that's creating more open spaces for us to be able to get passes into them and for them to be able to turn and create opportunities 2-on-1 situations.
So the Rhinos can take advantage of that. Rosenlund gets it back to Sanfilippo. Just did a great job earlier.
And there you have Roseland coming out here. all of a sudden you create that opportunity where if he were in the middle of the field, that's what I consider stagnant.
They have really done a good job of interchanging, as Coach has talked about. Gow with it. Very difficult to mark, Franks and Rosenlund. Franks came in mainly as an outside midfielder during the preseason. He got a little shift into the central part of the field.
Yeah, I mean, we look for technical players, skillful players, players that are quick players, not just from a speed standpoint, but quick in thought, that are capable of playing in any position. So, although he may have played in an outside position with other teams, the capability of playing in an inside position when you have all those characteristics and skills is an easy transition.
Yeah, he's transitioned beautifully for Bob Lilly. There's a hard challenge there by Spicer on the near sideline against Clements. And Hidajit Tika will have a word for the outside defender, and we'll get back into play here. 32nd minute. Looking for our first goal. Rosenlund rocked one off the crossbar earlier in the first half. Since then, it's been a chess match. As Pitch Colin has it, Aaron Pitch Colin. Played 68 games with Dallas from 05 through 09. Bellamy now, some space to push forward. Dangerous ball. Taken away by Menyanger. It's the return touch, and he's still going to keep possession here as the Rhinos stop playing the ball. Bellamy comes back in hard with the challenge and makes up for the earlier mistake. Sanfilippo. Right foot forward for Hamilton. Takata heads it back to Andres Arango. Altman with it now, middle of the field. Wasson. A chance to talk with him, talking about his experience in Germany in 2008 and 2009. Here's Gow. Hard tackle. Pitch Colin, or who's called for the foul there, Coach? Not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Pitch Colin may have fouled him, but I mean, that's what we're talking about, where you win that kind of a ball, you got a good counterattack. Last week's referee would have let that go. This guy seems to be calling everything.
Here's Pitch Colin. Long ball now for Hines. This one dies as Altman heads it up to midfield. Hines now going to track this one down again. Shoulder to shoulder. Altman knocks it out of bounds. Throwing for the Rhinos. 34th minute. Altman can't believe he's not getting the call. Manny Lagos not happy with it either. Manny Lagos since 2006 has been the director of soccer operations for the Minnesota Thunder. Now in his first season as head coach. You guys had some classic battles with Buzz Lagos, championship games in Rochester and in Minnesota.
Yeah, you had some talented teams, and obviously the dedication that he put into the programs that are there in Minnesota indicates that. And I think Manny's no different. You could see his intensity on the bench there, and he's barking out constant instruction, and he's intense. He wants to win.
He's played with 5 MLS teams. Ended his career with the Columbus Crew in 2005.
And it's key, especially from the leadership, that you show the players that you hate to lose. It's really, the winning comes if you hate to lose. And he's that type of player. He just hated to lose wherever he played. And he had success, with the teams that he played with.
Here's Pitch Colin inside the center circle. Franks back to Roberts. Roseland. There's Pitch Colin. A little short, now a long ball, mixing it up from Pitch Colin. Spicer's got some space. Getting inside the 18. Driven ball and cleared away inside the 6 by Altman. Arango up to Menyanger. Sends one downfield for Svilikis.
I used to love that opportunity like that. Spicer going right to the line, and when you draw the whole defense into the top of the 16, you lay it to the top of the 18 where there's a guy standing there all free, because you kind of get, you gravitate towards the goal as you're moving forward like that. So the opportunities for the player that's trailing.
Just to hold a little bit. Played the ball into the mix. A lot of traffic there, but still good build-up As Greenfield looking for a pitch Colin here. On the near side, this one is going to be a throw-in near the corner flag. Deep in Minnesota territory. We talked about some players who have seen a lot of experience, or a lot of minutes this year. Defender Troy Roberts, 810 minutes played. He's seen every single minute of soccer this season. He's done a great job. If you had the 36 minutes we played tonight, it's a bunch of soccer for the number 12. Here's pitch Colin. Spinning, looking for some openings. Gonna have our production.
I don't think the fans are gonna like that one.
We want to go forward. So he played 36 minutes already, plus the 8:10. Our producer John Catalano's got his calculator going, and in a few minutes we'll have the answer for you. He thinks it's 8:46 with a question mark. Here's Bellamy now. Tonight's game being produced on TV by John Catalano, on radio by the great Justine. Through ball into space. Rosalind.
Put on goal.
Warren is out. Slide tackle by Arango. Rosalind, chip for Hines. Corner of the 6, headed back down. And Warren is there as Hamilton couldn't get a little flick on it. Arango's slide tackle maybe doing just enough to prevent Rosalind from looking at the open net.
Yeah, Warren had got back in time. Actually, that was a great ball there. So it was a good combination. Would have been nice had he taken a shot. But here's what we're talking about when we're stealing it in the midfield. We got to be ready to counterattack with that.
Sloppy giveaway there by Minnesota. Hamilton was looking for the through ball. The Stars come away with it. Takata now on the far side. Going one-on-one with Greenfield. Hines coming in to support as well.
And this is where we really got to be careful, because they've kind of lulled us to sleep a little bit. And they get the opportunity to counterattack.
Valo crashing into Civilicus. He wants a foul call. Valo, big strong play inside the 6 now.
And this is where
into space. Hamilton looking to get to the top of the 18. Arango gets his right foot on it. Avoids the danger there.
No, but you could see, okay, here we are counterattacking with 3 players, and the rest of our team is sitting about 50 yards down the field. We need to really push up as a team at that point. Keep them in their end of the field.
Rosalind wanted to stretch the legs there. He was gone. Hines at the best of services. Cleared away by the Stars, and a throw-in for the Rhinos. 39th minute, scoreless. Franks to take the throw-in on the far side. Looks off Greenfield, now goes back to him. As Bob Lilly up and down the sidelines, constantly coaching this very young Rochester Rhinos team.
Yeah, I don't believe that he's happy with the intensity at this point. I think, we need to really start pushing forward a little bit more and putting more pressure on their backs. They've shown already that they're
they'll give it up.
They're taking risky passes at the back. So if we push up as a team and put some pressure on them, then we'll create more opportunities from it.
Spicer, a little tug on the jersey there. Manyanger telling the guys to slow it down. Freeland.
I mean, right now, without pressure, they're going to pass it around here and take their time. And I'm sure Manny's told them, look, guys, the longer this game goes, the more pressure they have, the more need they're going to have to come forward and put pressure on us, and maybe we'll be able to nip a goal off of that.
There's Manyanger for Civilicus. A little spin one-touch pass to Melvin Tarley. Didn't get contact on the ball. Here's Sanfilippo with it now. Spicer. Bellamy now to Troy Roberts. Sanfilippo. Near side, crossing midfield. Franks settles, gets it back to the team captain. Not quite. Up over his head. Throwing for the Stars. I want to say the Thunder so bad. It's just been so many years that the Thunder have come to town. It's now NSC Minnesota.
I think, what was it? We 13-3-3 against them.
Overall?
Yeah.
Some great matchups. There's Sanfilippo drills it off of Gao.
Look at man, he gives it to the side official instead of the player. That's how intense he is.
Wants to be on the pitch, I think. Hamilton. Spicer just trying to get it around Altman. He can't. Altman fighting off Sanfilippo on the near side, and that goes out of bounds. Second meeting of the season between Rochester and Minnesota. Nunez with 2 goals in that first meeting. Former Thunder Rich Costanzo also picking up a goal. He's listed as a reserve this evening. There's Clements with the throw-in, back to Arango.
You know, Minnesota's going to be content to get out of the half here without with a 0-0 score. Like I said, they'll look at the second half as that opportunity.
Foul called, and it'll be a free kick coming up for Minnesota on the far side of midfield. Goes back with it. This ball played by Takata, and that goes out of bounds. Bad giveaway here. Throwing for the Rhinos, quickly taken by Spicer. Rosenlund.
Of course, if you can nip one here, it'd be great to go into half with a goal.
Spicer wins the corner kick, and Mike Kerms talked about a point you used to make. He said when he played for you, first 5 minutes, crucial time, and last 5 minutes, crucial times of the game.
Yeah, definitely in each half. Those are the times that most people are either fall asleep or you create intensity and get some goals. So it's always, as a team, it's always important to have the right mindset under those conditions.
Ball's bouncing inside the 6.
It almost looked like a penalty.
Yeah, pitch Colin was dumped inside the box. Tika, the official, in a good spot, waving his arm, saying, no call at all there. There's Menyanger switching it to the near side for Svilicus. Gets a flick on it. Takata unable to catch up to it before Sanfilippo gets there. Spicer, Rosenlund. 43rd minute. We are scoreless at Marina Auto Stadium. Tyler Bellamy with it now. Here's pitch Colin. Looking, gaining yards as he goes forward. Rosenlund. Good ball into space for Hamilton. Spicer has it now. Inside the 18, a low cross. Deflected away there by Clements. And he'll pick it up again. I'm sorry, it's Altman to Svilicus. Another dangerous ball back from Svilicus.
Yeah, those are the passes that you can kind of steal and get in on a break, and create it. You can see that we're starting to break them down a little bit at the back, and we're creating some opportunities. So it's a matter of time here before I think we get a goal. But again, we need to push up a little bit more as a team and force those errors.
Yeah, they're living on the edge with some of those balls across the 18. Now Altman is on the near side.
I mean, thinking that they're making those errors without any pressure, just imagine with a little pressure.
That's a great point. There's Arango. Tarley off his thigh, tried to go outside to Menyanger. Greenfield's there to pick it up for the Rhinos. Rosenlund, hard tackle there from Takata. Gets it forward to the 18. Bellamy fighting with Svilicus. They're getting tangled up inside the box. Good challenge there both ways. Bellamy fights it off to Hines.
Yeah, I think Bellamy thought that Scott was going to come out and get it. And I don't know, maybe there wasn't good communication there. But again, with Bellamy there, it needed to be kicked out at that point.
There's pitch call. Nice little move to get around Menyanger. That's with the outside of the right foot. Rango pops this one forward. Roberts gets the head on it. 45th minute. And we're going to have a big 0 for stoppage time. There's the fourth official. Not much to do here as we're going to wind down the last 20 seconds or so with a throw-in on the far side. Friedland to take it for the Stars. Looking for some help here and trying to eat away at the clock. 20 seconds gone by, 45 minutes played. Long throw-in. Looking for Tarley. Taken down in the box. Here's Menyanger. Top of the 18. Wasson gets mixed up. And that'll be it. Tika blows the whistle. 45 minutes are in the books. The Rochester Rhinos and the Minnesota Stars are scoreless after 45 minutes of play. Stick around before we go to break. We'll speak with a Rhino player and get him before he heads to the dressing room. But Coach, 3 shots for Rochester, 1 for Minnesota. And we are scoreless after 45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to push up a little bit more, put a little more pressure on their back four, and force some errors. That isn't happening right now. And maybe pick up the speed of play a little bit in the midfield. Get the pass moving from the strong side to the weak side, the side that's being pressured to the side that isn't.
Tyler Rosenlund will join us here momentarily. They're getting him mic'd up and geared up, ready for our halftime interview as we are scoreless after 45 minutes of play. Let's go down to the field. Tyler Rosenlund joins us. Tyler, welcome to the halftime show, and great shot there in that first half. I thought you maybe wanted to get that off a little quicker if Bellamy hadn't kind of gotten in the way there.
Yeah, he was a little bit in the way, but I called it, and he got out of the way, and I just hit it. I thought he hit it good, but hit the crossbar. Those are the bounces sometimes.
And then you had another opportunity there where it looked like you were going to take a shot, and you put a great cross over to Hines, and he was able to get it on goal. Almost were able to get another goal there.
Yeah, I was about to hit it, and I saw the goalie running back, and I thought it was a little too far out. I thought he would have had it, so I didn't see anyone on Hines on the back post. I tried to play it to him, and we were unlucky to get a goal there.
Tyler, talk about this formation change. Last week, very successful against Vancouver. You guys going with it again tonight. And do you and Franks kind of have a free role to just roam around and find gaps?
Yeah, offensively, he wants us to get in the attack. We have quite a bit of freedom, but trying to combine with each other. And then defensively, we're trying to hunt together for the ball. But they're having some pretty good possession, but it's in their own end, and we've had more chances than them, so hopefully we can get a few more. We can bury some in the second half.
Yeah, it seems like they are making a lot of square passes at the back, and they have a lot of time on the ball. So I'm sure that maybe at some point, and I saw that there was a little discussion there about possibly pushing up and putting some pressure on them.
Yeah, maybe we have to, I don't know what Bob's going to say at halftime, but, we maybe have to move up, close the field a little more, get the defense to come up a little bit. But, their possession isn't really doing too much. They're just kind of keeping it. But, hopefully we can maybe nick a pass and get a goal from it.
All right, Tyler, join the guys in the locker room. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
That's Rhinos midfielder Tyler Rosenlund joining us at the half. Stick around, much more to come. Halftime show is next here on the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
Rochester, 1880, the year the Zweigel family began providing their legendary products. Today, this local women-owned family business introduces a new line of specialty chicken sausages, including Italian, chorizo, and spinach and feta. Lower in fat and sodium, gluten-free and fully cooked. Zweigel's chicken sausages are ready in minutes to add to your favorite pasta, rice dish, or soup for the whole family to enjoy. Items available at Tops or your friendly neighborhood grocery store. Enjoy Zweigel's specialty chicken sausages today.
I was doing nothing. Then I went to Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack. They got it all. Exciting slots, nearly 1,200 of them. This great all-you-can-eat buffet and live thoroughbred racing. Don't miss your chance to win a 2010 Camaro SS. Play daily for your chance to win. Hurry, time's running out. Plus, join the club and receive up to $25 in free slot play and other great members-only benefits. At Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack, the fun starts here.
Nutmegel Realtors makes your home shopping experience even easier with our exclusive television show. During Nutmegel Realtors Showcase of Homes, we'll visit dozens of properties throughout the greater Rochester area, offering a variety of styles and price ranges. This is a great way to learn about the current real estate market, and you may see the home of your future. If not, keep watching, because we'll bring you new homes every week. Just one more advantage that Rochester's Realtor offers you.
Tom Park, Billy Fusillo back here at Fusillo Hyundai, and I have a hunch that with this 2011 Sonata coming in, you're moving out these 2010s in a huge way.
Tom, I'll tell you something. These pre-owned 2010s for $14,800.
How much?
These vehicles were over $20,000 new. $14,800.
Wow.
Yeah, over $20,000 new. I'm going to cut them loose. Anywhere in the state of New York, come into one of the Fusillo Hyundai stores, 14-8, 0-10 Sonata. I'll make you huge. Ja.
Hurt in a car?
Call William Matar.
Listen, the clock is ticking. After an injury accident, the MV-104 form may need to be filed within 10 days. No-fault paperwork should be filed as soon as possible, but no more than 30 days after the accident. I'm William Matar. Don't wait. Call and we can explain these time deadlines. Hurt in a car? Call William Matar. 444-4444.
Buy Amex season tickets and score free pizza for a year. The Rochester Americans and Salvatore's Pizza will provide a year's supply of free pizza with the purchase of at least one new season ticket for the 2010-11 season. Full season ticket packages start as low as $8 per game. That's one large pizza per month for a whole year. This offer ends on June 30th. So call the Amex office now, 454-5335, to get your season tickets today.
Auto Stadium, as we are minutes away from getting half number 2 underway. Rochester and Minnesota are scoreless after 45 minutes of play. For Minnesota, they've come in with 19 goals against, the most in the USSF second division. Rochester unable yet to crack the Minnesota defense, thanks to some help from the goal post. Looking at the team's last action, Rochester a big 2-1 win against Vancouver last Saturday here at Marina Auto Stadium. For Minnesota, they picked up a 3-2 win over AC St. Louis. Lavity with the game-winning goal in the 84th minute. Minnesota before that was 0-5-1. Looking over the Rhinos lineup and checking to see if there's any changes to the same 11 that exited the field. And looks like right now it is the same 11. Costanzo, subs available for Rochester this evening include Costanzo, backup goalkeeper Neil Kitson, Isaac Kesey, Nano Short, Alfonso Montegalvan, Ian Bennett, Nunez, and along with Costanzo. For Manny Lagos, backup goalkeeper Matt Van Ockel, Simone Bracalello, Neil Lavity, Eli Allen, and Scott Lorenz.
Doesn't look like Minnesota's come out yet, and the officials aren't too happy. You know, we're on a schedule, and there's a certain amount of time where they're allotted within the locker room. If you're not coming out, you can see Rochester's actually sitting out here waiting. You know, Manny's probably giving them a good speech. They did a good job in the first half of keeping Rochester contained and out of their end. And they're probably talking about the fact that the only breakdowns were through passes into spaces and gaps behind the defense. So he's probably trying to shore that up. But they need to get out on the field here.
Yeah, we saw a couple of those long balls. They got Hines on the far side and Spicer really in dangerous opportunities to serve the ball into the box, especially when you talked about where maybe Spicer, a better choice would have been to the top of the 18, where Roseland was just sitting there wide open. As the Rhinos are trying to stay loose, the fans mingling, and I see the boys in yellow now making their way onto the pitch. See if Manny Lagos has made any changes here to start the second half.
Yeah, and the USSF is really strict about the timetable, especially at halftime. And I'm sure this could essentially be a fine to Minnesota.
Yeah, this is at least 3 or 4 minutes beyond the allotted halftime. It's given throughout the league. We'll see if any changes are made here as Wasson is back onto the pitch, Arango, Menyanger, Friedland, Takata, Gao, Svilikis, and Clements.
Looks like both teams are status quo, and I think Bob's probably told the group, look at guys, I'm going to give you 5-10 minutes here to make a difference. You got to push up and put some pressure on them and get in there into the field and create some opportunities and show me what you have for the first 5-10 minutes. If we're not getting any action from it, then I'm going to have to bring in some fresh legs.
The Rhinos would love to pick up the points here. They're on a 3-game homestand right now. They got 3 points last week against Vancouver. They host Minnesota tonight. And then June 12th, Crystal Palace, Baltimore comes back. And that's maybe a little revenge game as Rochester lost 1-0 to them on May the 19th.
Yeah, and when you look at the rest of the schedule, you're playing Carolina, Tampa Bay, Puerto Rico, Portland, Montreal, all teams that are up there in the standings. So there's no easy teams, as you want to put it.
All right, finally underway here. The Rhinos get the kickoff. They'll be attacking the goal to our left. And Sanfilippo on the far side. Back to the middle. Pitch Colin with a right foot now to Greenfield on the near side. Top of the 18. Hamilton trying to spin and get away from Clements. Here's Hines now with it on the near side. Friedland and Manyanger applying the pressure. Here's Roseland. Greenfield, quick one touch, and that's a giveaway here. Takata comes away with it. Pushes one forward for Svilikis, and Bellamy able to read the play and break it up. There's Roberts. Troy Roberts spent a tough season with Cleveland last year. 29 games played. After a nice run in Major League Soccer where he won the MLS Cup and the U.S. Open Cup in 2005.
And you can already see that Rochester's speed of play is already picked up. It's going to come off the off the flag, off the pole.
Yeah, a goal kick and a good ball looking for Hines. Just didn't get the touch he wanted there. And trickles over the end line, and Joe Warren will have a goal kick for the Stars. Pretty interesting background of the goalkeeper from Minnesota. Played track. He was a football punter, played basketball and soccer in his college days. Quite the athlete. Here's Hines. Younger. His touch, he says it goes off the hand of Roseland, but Greenfield come away with it. Franks.
Great play by Greenfield there, but those are the types of passes, okay? You create that intensity, start to go forward, and then a little bad pass like that causes the team to go negative.
Yeah, changes everything. Takes the wind out of your sails. There's Altman's long ball. Tarley can't get his head on it. Bellamy does a good job defensively. And, under the foot of Pitch Colin. Back to Bellamy now. Sanfilippo with it. Bellamy's going to take a couple touches forward here. Go back out to the far flank for Frankie Sanfilippo. Patient build up here. Rosenlund checking back, receiving the ball at midfield. Spicer knocking it around. Looks like Tarley and Svilikis to apply the pressure. And Bellamy, another giveaway here. That's a tough one as Manyanger has possession now. Tarley. Far side for Gao. Looking up. Taking a couple touches. Corner of the 18. Double step over. Chip into the box. Headed away there by Greenfield. Svilikis standing at the 6.
And that's the type of pass, all right, at the back where you make a mistake and 10 players got to run back 90 yards. So you're putting a lot of effort into getting back on a bad pass. You just got to keep it sharp.
Hines off the outside of his foot. He's going to take a little dip in towards the 18, and Warren will simply pick it up. Rhinos' 2010 season continues, and kind of a big year in the world of soccer. There's that little tournament taking place in South Africa.
Yeah, that little tournament.
You know, it happens every 4 years.
But there, see that little pressure that we applied there? All of a sudden we get a corner kick from it. So again, I think we need to get some pressure on the back four here.
Well, you mentioned it in the first half where there was barely any pressure and they were giving the ball away. Corner kick for Hines. Short. Franks into the box, headed through the crowd off the top of Hamilton's head. And a goal kick coming up here for the Stars.
Yeah, that was a good delivery. We need to get ahead on that one.
So goal kick coming up for Warren. Rochester, every player up and getting loose on the sidelines, as well as Minnesota's side. For Van Okel, the backup goalkeeper. Warren's kick gets to midfield. Sanfilippo does a good job fighting off Tarley. Here's Takata. Andres Arango. Kyle Altman is a draft pick of the New England Revolution in 2008. Takata makes a meal of this one.
Yep.
And Roseland looking for Spicer. Tries to flick it forward for Franks. He's on a full sprint, able to keep it in bounds. Spicer gets the cross. Looking for Hines inside the 6, and Warren's big frame there.
And this is the type of pressure we got to put on them right here. All right, don't give them the opportunity to get out.
And they win possession. Oh, off the thigh of Roseland. Svilikis. Gao into space for Menyanger, who's on the right side now. Greenfield closing him down. Menyanger still going right at him, corner of the 18. Cuts it back to his left. Gets tangled up, loses possession. And pitch Cullen, and the Rhinos will pick up a free kick here. Maybe one too many moves for the tiny ticket.
I think he used his hands a few times.
Johnny Menyanger looking for his second of the season.
Tried to get two hands on it.
56 goals in his days with the Thunder. Spicer on the far side. Sanfilippo's overlapping, gets the ball. Cross to the 12. No one there. Friedland clears it out. Dead center, 30 yards out, pitch Colin. Left-footed chip for Hamilton.
Great ball.
And he's offsides. Crowd gets up on their feet. Referee's assistant on the far side, waving the flag up in the air.
And we did well to get down the right side there. Good overlap by Sanfilippo.
Yep.
Ball gets crossed in. Again, that becomes a thing where you get drawn into the goal. So the players that hold their runs a little bit will then get on the end of a cross like that.
I hope they're listening to you, Coach, on the field, because putting to work your words. I was working with you last year, some of the comments you'd make, and 2 minutes later, boom, it's happening on the field. Here's pitch Colin to Franks. There's Bellamy now. Now he does better with this touch to Roberts.
And again, it's the speed of play, quickening the game, and there you go, right into the corner.
Good run for Greenfield. Space on
now we got to get people in the box. So he's making a run to get forward, but we need to get people in there.
Colin lines it up with the right foot. And Warren gets his fingertips and tips it over the bar.
And that's what the fans want to see. That opportunity to take a 30-yard shot.
Knew he was going to go for it, Coach.
Yep.
All that space.
Yeah, he did well to hit that. It was a little too much on target towards the goalie. But had it gone to any corner, it would have been in the goal.
Spicer, corner kick on the far side. That travels through the 18, and Tarley lets it roll out of bounds, and a throw-in coming up for Minnesota. 53rd minute, scoreless.
We got to keep them on their heels, and I think right now when we're getting an overlapping like that, we're keeping them on their heels. We're making them turn towards their goal, which is not the best situation for a defender.
This has been a good start to the second half for the Rhinos. Franks taken down by Gao. 53rd minute, Coach, and it's no secret that the Rhinos have had trouble coming out of the locker room to start the second half, but this kind of spark and enthusiasm, exactly what Bob Lilly, I'm sure, wants to see, and yourself.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, he probably said to them, look, I'm going to give you the first 5-10 minutes. Show me what you have. So they need to come out with intensity.
There's been a few games where they've given up goals in the first 5-6 minutes to start the second half.
No, and everybody knows that's a critical time in a game. So here's an important time for us to be on the other end of that critical time.
Franks, two-man wall. Chips it into the box. A little too heavy. Through, and goal kick coming up for the Stars. It's Rochester and back home on June the 12th. Crystal Palace, Baltimore. Before heading out to Montreal on Father's Day. It's a nice chunk of time here without travel. And a good chance to pick up 9 points on this homestand. Franks, good job at midfield to win the header. Hines gets it on the flank here to Jamie Franks, the Wake Forest University product. Top
Great
of the
ball.
18, Roseland, no, it hits his backside.
It's a butt trap.
Yeah. Mike Stoyanovich.
It's interesting. It would have been nice that he scored from it.
Yeah, just hit the space there. Unfortunately for him, it didn't roll the way he wanted.
And here with Franks coming out to the corner, he's drawing two of their men out of the middle of so it creates more space for our players to get into good positions.
Hines whipping the corner to Bellamy at the 6th, and he heads this one wide.
And that was just a header that if he actually confronted the ball, he actually headed it and met the ball, that would have been on goal, but I think he tried to deflect it. So that's not going to go in, and that's basically it.
Terrible. Eli Allen's getting ready to check in here. Midfielder, number 26.
And I got to tell you, Greenfield's picked it up here. He's made some great passes into the box, some great through passes. He's really finding the forwards and the midfielders.
There's Hines.
So again, I think basically when we started to talk about pushing up, you can see that Greenfield, of course, right after I say that, it's a bad pass.
He's had a good start here to the second half. And again, it's against a lot of his former teammates. I'm sure he's got a little extra incentive this evening.
Yep. So, I mean, the first half he wasn't getting forward as much, but now you're seeing Sanfilippo and both he getting forward.
Far side now. Andres Arengo with it. Middle of the field for Wasson. Coming to Altman on the near side. Little chip forward. It's behind Menyanger. Pitch Colin picks it up. Hines, he's bumped into from behind. Greenfield, it's going to get there to Roberts. Menyanger steals it. And there's going to be an obstruction call here on Roberts. And he'll get a yellow card as well. 57th minute, first card of the game. Troy Roberts for Rochester goes into the book.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have an opportunity to pass that back from where it came. And usually when the ball's played from one direction, you want to look at the opposite side of the field. Sometimes when you stay on that same side, you're actually playing into pressure. And that's what happened here. He played it right into the defender, or the forward's feet. And then he had a yellow card because he had to basically cut his path to the goal.
Eli Allen on for Lele Gao. 57th minute, free kick here. Wasson, high chip into the box. Headed back to the top of the 18. No one there
That's
from
an opportunity
Minnesota.
for us.
Hamilton, he's got wheels, crossing midfield on the near side. Lays it off for Greenfield, back to Hamilton. Frank's up into space here. Hamilton back centrally to Hines. Far side for Sanfilippo. And the quick counterattack slowed down here. Roseland to Franks. Greenfield overlapping on this near side. Franks cuts it back inside to his right foot. Roseland looking for an opening here, spinning around, facing up on the defense. He's got Spicer to help him on the far side. Here's Sanfilippo. Takes a touch inside. Corner of the 18. Franks looking there for Spicer. Eli Allen gets his first touch on it. And Minnesota tries to clear it away, but popped back in by Pitch Colin. There's Wasson to Tarley. Menyanger back into space looking for Tarley. Roberts reads it well and breaks it up for the Rhinos. 59th minute and scoreless. Eli Allen, your only change, the 23-year-old out of the University of Washington, replacing Lele Gao. There's Pitch Colin. He's checking back. He's double teamed and able to keep possession nicely for the Rhinos. Franks. Tyler Bellamy.
Yeah, the one thing that Minnesota's done well is they clogged up the middle very well. So those through passes that we've had so much success with in previous games throughout the season aren't quite there.
Here's Pitch Colin, middle of the field. Left foot, high ball to the near side. It's going to reach Greenfield.
And I think if we speed up the speed of play and we get a lot of touches on the ball, that's going to create some confidence for us.
You're talking about speeding up.
Yeah,
it's
going to displace. It also is going to displace them and their positioning.
Oh, good move from Hines. Just to turn and free himself up. Here's Franks now. Roseland. Top of the 18, laid off for Franks. Hamilton. 1-2 again with Franks. Maybe 1-2 too many. As it'll be a goal kick coming up here for the Stars.
Well, that's the type of thing that you got to look at. I mean, that quickness and passing and getting some confidence, that's just going to create more opportunities. And it also doesn't allow them to sit in the positions that they want to sit. Minnesota's been able to do that throughout the game and consequently has played a decent game defensively.
So far 0-0. They've got to be content with how they've set it up in the back. Bennett still getting his instructions from Bob Lilly. Pretty deep conversation going on here. There's Bellamy. Roberts. 61 minutes looking for our first goal. Wasson, Hines battling for it. A couple of whacks there from Wasson. Hines able to avoid that. Nice move again. Gets away from Takata. Good ball. And I thought it was going to go to Hamilton, but really kind of split Spicer and Hamilton there.
Yeah, I think he was trying to go for Spicer, and then Kurt, he got a bend on it more than he wanted to.
So Hines will be coming off. Got some nice touches here in his last 5 minutes of play.
Yeah, it looked like he was picking it up there. He probably saw that his number was being called.
Funny how that works.
I hated that as a player. You look over, you see the whole team warming up, and you're thinking, okay, it might be my turn to come up, so I got to pick up my intensity and pick up my play.
Bennett's 5th appearance. He got the assist on the game-winning goal last week. So he's going to go to the right side of midfield. I assume Spicer comes to the near side. That's how it looks right now as Bennett quickly gets his head on this goal kick. Sends it forward. Arango is just going to get it to Joe Warren off the head. So one change each. Bennett and Allen have come off the benches. Warren off the turf. Can't get over pitch Colin. And Arango will take it here for Minnesota. Warren, top of the 18, driving it forward. Menyanger, not his strength in the air, but wins it anyways.
I'm surprised he got a head on it.
Savilikis, he's knocked off the ball by Bennett. He's got the fresh legs, and boy, can he really turn it on. Takes this one off the chest. Franks is going to keep this one inbounds on the far
Good
side.
bounce for us. Get the numbers in the box.
Drives the cross off the head of Arango and picks up a corner kick. Ian Bennett.
You can see that the trailing players are getting into the box for us, so that was something that really wasn't happening in the first half. So we're getting numbers in there. Now it's a matter of just getting the ball in there.
I like how Franks actually took a look up to see what was out there. Far side corner kick for Franks.
This is where we got our goal last week, so we'll take a look. Pitch Colin was able to get free last week.
Good ball from Franks. Hamilton with the header. Sails across the 6. Tarley should have had that ball, but Spicer picks it up instead and wins a throw-in. No way. That is a tough call there by Tika.
How did he change
Rochester
that?
Throw. I don't know.
He obviously said it was Rochester's ball.
It was clearly off of Tarley, but
that's all right. We could still can push up on them.
There's Spicer. Does a good job to blast it off the big striker, but we'll see if they can keep him pinned in their own half here. Roberts off the thigh, left foot forward into space.
This is where we need to push up.
Hamilton gets the loose ball. Cutting around to his left. He can't get around Friedland. He'll come forward with it to Melvin Tarley. Heads it for Savilikis. Now forward to Menyanger. Eli Allen now. Bennett tracking back, slowing him down. Menyanger, middle of the field. Playing it back to Wasson.
And we're able to get numbers back here, but that's a concern sometimes when you're the home team and you're pushing forward. You're getting some opportunities, but Minnesota's done a good job of playing a good zone defense with the opportunity here. If we're pushing forward, you don't want to give away a crazy goal at the end here because they outnumber you on a counterattack.
There's Savilikis, and they'll call him for offsides. So 65th minute, free kick coming up for the Rhinos. Manny Lagos getting ready to make another change. It'll be his second change. Simone Bracalello. So he's getting ready to check in, another striker. He'll wear number 19.
He played in Italy, I think. Yeah, played Sampdoria youth system, trained with Pescara, and mainly played in the 3rd division.
So, got to have something in his bag of tricks.
I guess not. I hope not.
Those are not teams to blink an eye at.
No, but it looks like both teams. Even Bob brought on some speed on the outside, and I think that's what Minnesota's going to do here. And you know what? They've done a great job of making sure that it's a 0-0 game at this point. So he's going to maybe get some speed in here with an opportunity to maybe get a counterattack.
Here's Civilicus 1v4. Took a miracle to get through that. Ball's played back to Vallow. Here's Jonathan Greenfield, 66th minute, zeros here in Rochester. There's fans watching in Minnesota this evening. Hope enjoying our coverage here from downtown Rochester. Bellamy outside to Frankie Sanfilippo. Here's Bennett. Space and time, he can be a killer. Sanfilippo off the foot of Roseland.
I mean, the big thing for us, especially if we want to take advantage of his speed, then the ball needs to be on the left side of the field and then switched real quickly. So you got him in a one-on-one situation. And with Sanfilippo on that side of the field, both of those guys with their speed really can take advantage of that defender. And that's where we had our success in the first half. If you look at the first half, we were getting him behind that defender on that side of the field.
So it's going to be Tarley coming off, the Liberian, for Simone Braccolello. This change in the 67th minute, and Tarley, you can tell by his body language, not happy at all with the substitution, but rather ineffective tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think, they came in here with a game plan. If we can keep a 0-0 game, we should be happy. And right now they're succeeding with what they want. You can see that Manny's he's still upset, but I'm sure he's sitting there going, hey, 0-0 in Rochester at this point. I'll take it.
It's definitely a different look than we saw, like you said, in the first half. Clements, long ball. Now Braccolello takes it off the right foot, top of the 18. Looking to spin and look for an opening. Gets it back to Friedland. There's Braccolello. Takes it off of Greenfield, picks up a throw in here. Lawson, give away to Roseland. Roberts with it. Spicer. Touch just barely gets to Roberts. Greenfield clears it away under pressure. And Roseland. Menyager is going to be called. No, they'll call it on pitch Colin against Johnny Menyager. So it'll be a free kick coming up for the Stars.
I mean, you can even see there where Minnesota as a team, they're applying good pressure. They're doing it as a unit. And we need to really play out of that pressure and get it to the opposite side of the field.
So Wasson with a two-man wall. 68th minute and scoreless.
And these are the free kicks we shouldn't be giving up because we're giving them an opportunity.
Into the box. Vallow's dumped inside the 6. And he'll be okay. Quickly gets up. There's Franks now. Cutting back just over midfield. Good ball. Diagonal run from Hamilton. Near side of the 18. Keeps it in bounds. Back to Franks. Greenfield open. Takes a touch. Middle of the field for pitch Colin now. Far side Sanfilippo. Crowd unhappy with the Rhinos going backwards here. Playing back to Bellamy. Greenfield. These balls taken away by Takata. Friedland just pushes one forward to midfield. Isaac Kissy getting ready to check in.
And one of the deficiencies that we may have as a team, and that's why I think we're still looking at opportunities and maybe bringing in some players. On our left side, for instance, we really don't have a left-footed player. So when you do get into the corner like that, like Hamilton did, rather than trying to go at the defender, sometimes you curl back because you're right-footed, and you're bringing the ball negative.
That's a good point. Bennett's cross is way off the mark. And it'll be a goal kick here for Minnesota, 70th minute. Rochester and Minnesota are scoreless. Isaac Kissy in his final instructions, looking to make his 4th appearance of the season. The 22-year-old played his college soccer at the University of Dayton, and he's another one with a very long stride, but he has got a ton of speed.
Yeah, I think obviously someone that can get in behind the defense. But again, that's a thing with forwards, okay? It takes time for them to really find their groove. And like I said, our forwards at the beginning of the season were injured with Hamilton and Spicer and Kitsy. So they're just starting to get their groove a little bit to some degree.
Yeah, really only his 4th game after what looked like a very bright preseason. All right, Roseland. It's got Sanfilippo overlapping. Far side of the field. His touch on the ground goes into the 18, but no one there but Takata. Eli Allen plays it up towards midfield. Bellamy's going to let this roll out of bounds. And they're calling for the substitution here. It's going to be Hamilton coming off, Coach. 71st minute.
Substitution for the Rhinos, now entering the game, number 18,
Anthony Hamilton got the game-winning goal last week. Being replaced by Kissy, number 18.
And I think Bob's seen that we are getting in behind the defense, so a player like Kissy with his speed could definitely get in there. He's a little quicker than Hamilton. You know, and Hamilton being the lone striker has obviously expended a lot of energy.
He's going to be winded, especially, like I said, in that formation where he's all alone working hard up top. There's Sanfilippo's throwing. Kissy's first touch back to his captain. Chip forward now, Kissy. Nice layoff there for Roseland. There's pitch Colin. Almost gets it tangled up, but keeps possession here with Roberts. Spicer. Rochester looking for the 3 points here tonight. Altman. And he's going to let this one roll out of bounds. Their goal kick coming up for Minnesota. I think Valo's really made one save in the 25 minutes or so that we've played.
Yeah, and these are the types of games where all of a sudden they get that one breakaway and they put it away. So you still got to play smart. Again, playing their end of the field, put some pressure on them. You have Kissy now with a little speed there. Some of those through passes that we were making, he might be able to get on the end of that.
Not sure if there's any match as far as speed is concerned on the back 4 of Minnesota for Kissy or for Bennett. But here's Menyanger. He'll start the Minnesota attack. Civilicus. He'll chip into the box for Allen. Valo again nicely off his line.
Yeah, Valo's done a great job tonight of anticipating the balls, the crosses that are coming in. The few that have been coming. And it's difficult for a goalie where you haven't been making a lot of saves and you're not actively involved in the game to keep that sharpness and be ready when you're called on.
Greenfield cuts around Menyanger, splits Civilicus. Good ball on the far side. Wide open Sanfilippo. Clements trying to close him down. Sanfilippo trying to turn the corner, gets the cross off the Minnesota defender. And it'll be a corner kick here for the Rhinos.
And you can see both Sanfilippo and Greenfield have really picked up their game here in the second half. Greenfield was able to dribble through a few players there and make a great pass to the opposite side of the field where Sanfilippo almost got in behind the defender there.
It's your left back setting up the right back. It was nice to see. So Franks, is there magic again tonight on this corner kick? Far side, low driven cross. And Wasson easily intercepts that one for Minnesota. Bracalello.
No, and that's it. I mean, you get an opportunity on a corner kick. On restarts, I think you need to get it in the box. That was just an errant pass.
Long ball forward. Roberts heads it to the wide open Spicer. And there's a huge gap here, Coach, in the middle of the field. Spicer coming forward to Kissy. Still with possession at the 18. Friedland able on the second attempt. Cleared away for Minnesota.
Yeah, you can see that Minnesota is not even committing people forward. So
Greenfield now. Franks. Dead center. Greenfield all over the pitch here in the second half. Kissy's taken down. And a dangerous free kick coming up here for the Rhinos. Right at the top of the 18, almost dead center of the goal.
Well, we see who's going to line up for this. We haven't had too much success with restarts other than the corner kick last week.
Kissy getting helped up from Spicer. He was dropped at the top of the box. And Franks and Greenfield, looks like they're the two who are going to discuss this.
Yeah, I'm almost thinking with the way Greenfield's been threading the ball that I would have him take it.
Good ball there and a great opportunity there. A great spin move from Kissy. As Franks and Greenfield are talking about it. This is about 21 yards away. Looks like there's going to be a 5-man wall for the Stars, 4-man wall. Greenfield, right foot steps in, the little chip. And Warren, one step to his right, easily makes the save.
Yeah, that that's not an easy shot from there. It needs to be driven though, and he anticipated the fact that he was putting it over that side of the goal.
Civilicus, his header falls onto the thigh of Pitchkolin. Here's Bennett. Good job getting away from the pressure. Now loosening up this Minnesota defense, Roseland. Greenfield having a whale of a second half here. Double teamed, chips it into the box. It's over the head of Bennett, and Clements will let this run roll out as well. We are in the 76th minute, and we are scoreless. Bob Lilly going to shuffle the deck again as Tino Nunez getting ready to check in.
Well, he had 2 goals in Minnesota, so you got to put him in there. And I think Costanza, too. I mean, he had some success against Minnesota.
All right, the goal kick headed away by Sanfilippo to Bennett. Can he keep it in bounds on the far side? He does. Referee's assistant.
Far of a touch.
He looks at the referee's assistant like, get out of my way. Goal kick nonetheless for Minnesota. We'll see who Nunez is going to replace. Do you go with 2 forwards at this point?
Yeah, I think at this point you just got to start looking to push forward. They're sitting back with numbers.
There's Pitchkolin. He could be the one who comes off as they've kind of had him holding in behind the midfielders.
Yeah, I don't know whether I would take him off. He's got some height for us, and if there's any restarts, you want to be able to get him forward, or if there's any against us, you want to have that height in the back.
Throwing here on the near side for Friedland.
Especially that he had such a great header last week and got the goal for us.
Spicer wins the header to Pitchkolin. Here's Eli Allen. Far side now for Clements.
I think maybe you look at a Franks and you get an additional forward up there, and you sit with 4 people in the middle.
Another change coming up is Minnesota going to the bench now for the 3rd time. Halavity coming on. He's going to replace number 13, Takata.
If I'm correct, Lavity's got 3 goals for him this year.
He had the game winner last week.
Yeah, no, he's got. He may be their leading scorer. Yeah, 8 games played with 3 goals.
78th minute.
So they've done their homework. They realize, hey, guys, we've kept them to 0-0 here, and now they're bringing somebody on the field that obviously has scored some goals for them.
He got the game winner last week. Greenfield. 79 minutes. Rochester looking for a goal or 2. Greenfield's long ball, or Pitchkolin's long ball, is off the mark, and Warren will pick it up. Nunez finally gets the marching orders. He's going to check in here. Warren, top of the 18, gets it up into the Rhinos' half of the field. Here's Greenfield. He's got some space now to come forward. Kissy, Spicer. Greenfield's overlapping. Spicer goes inside instead. Tries to come back outside, and that lane is closed. Manyanger, nice little touch forward here. Here's Bracalello, not afraid to go one-on-one at players. Offsides, way offside. Civilicus still takes the shot, and it's up and way over everything else.
But that's the call of you're relying on the linesman to make a call, and he was very slow in getting that flag up.
80th minute, coach, you nailed it on the head. It is Franks who comes off. Nunez replacing him. Tino Nunez, the 25-year-old, 2 goals this year, as coach mentioned, both against.
Yeah, so you're going to see that now it's going to be Tyler and Pitchkolin in the middle. Tyler's probably going to be a little more offensive, and now you're going to play with an extra man up top, so you'll be able to put more pressure on the back 4.
Hats off to Franks, who worked extremely hard this evening. As usual, always puts in an honest day's work.
Nice thing about Nunez, too, is if you get it to his feet, he's able to hold it up. He's a forward that can play with his back to goal. a little bit like I used to do.
He learned from you then, huh?
I don't know if he learned from me, but
I thought you were more in the wing, weren't you?
I was, but I mean in indoor. When I was playing as a post-up guy, you played into my feet and you use your shoulders and your body to possess the ball, and you can see he's that type of player.
That had to be
you can play off
position.
of him. Yeah.
The knocks and the hits you probably took.
Yeah, you take hits on the calves.
Warren's kick barely to midfield. Like Allen and Bennett battling for it. Long ball looking for Nunez. Rango whiffs on this one. Like Allen.
And you get a look at Minnesota. I'm sure they're a little more tired at the back right now, the back four. And with a little more pressure now with two forwards up there, some errors may happen.
Then Younger, it's behind Civilicus. Velo's going to quickly come off his line, scoop it up. There's Spicer on the near side. 82 minutes played. Greenfield. Intercepted by Lavity. Long ball played forward by Friedland. That's out of bounds, and Lagos just kind of scratching his head. Not happy with that choice from his outside defender. Throwing for Greenfield now. Rochester looking for win number 5. They're 4-3-2 right now. Third place in the USL Conference. Blasted off the top of his head. Eli Allen fighting with it for possession against Kissy. Civilicus flicks this one behind Wasson. And it'll be a throw-in now for Rochester late in the game. Is there going to be a late heroic game winner?
Oh, jeez.
Just not in the right
spot.
spot.
An opportunity to put it forward, yep. But here we go. We're still countering here.
Bennett. Sanfilippo. He's on sides, far side, high chip into the box. Kissy with the header. Spicer with the rebound. Off the chest. Another shot blocked again inside the 18.
It looked like a handball.
It sure did. Roberts inside the Minnesota half of the field. Couple cracks there. Greenfield now on the near side. Cuts it back to his right.
I'm talking about that left foot, see?
And this one cleared out of bounds.
That's where Carlos Zavala was needed.
What a player. What a player Zavala was. And there's a look at that last opportunity.
Almost like he either took it on the chest. Here we're going down that side again.
Braccolello coming back. He's a forward, and he's working hard defensively as well. Pitch Cohen. Bellamy now to Roberts. Everyone here in the Minnesota half of the field except for Scott Vallow. There's Greenfield. His cross is deflected, and Narango boots this one high up in the air. Roberts up the back, and play on his advantage is called. Civilicus. Lavity into space. Manyager's not going to chase that one down, but Civilicus still working hard, applying pressure on Bellamy. Plays it back to Scott Vallow, 84th minute. Rochester and Minnesota are at zeros. There's Bellamy with it. Into the near side for Spicer. He's got some help with Greenfield.
That's a good ball. That's a good switch now. Now we got numbers on this side of the field. And this is where we need to switch it.
There's Bennett, able to get his hand on it.
Yep.
And he says it was his shoulder, but referee Hidayat Tika says no. Handball will give Minnesota a free kick here in the 85th minute.
This is one of those 0-0 games that we don't like to see.
Free kick here for Minnesota. Clements boots this one high and deep. Svilicus. It's attendance 5,284. Braccolello, top of the 18, lays it off for Svilicus. Greenfield breaks up the return pass from Svilicus. Possession kept in the Rhinos' half of the field. Wasson with it. Lavity. Now on the near side. Braccolello with it. Pressured Able to fight off Spicer here, spin away from him. He's triple team and a little too much pressure there, and Minnesota loses possession. Greenfield. Spicer. Plays it forward now for Kissy. Good slide tackle there from Altman, well timed. And
that was a nice ball by Spicer in behind.
Good play all around there. Throwing for the Rhinos. Near sideline. Checking back is Roseland.
Based on the first half, I don't think there's going to be extra time here.
There's Bennett. Right foot from the top of the 18. Yep.
Corner.
Definitely deflected. And this corner kick will take place on the near side.
And that's what Bennett can give you, that quickness, take on the one-on-one situation, but you got to be able to put him in that situation.
It is Spicer to take the corner kick. Nunez coming over to play short with him. Go inside the box. Cleared away. Friedland. Bracalello. Lays it off nicely. Lavity coming forward now. Or Eli Allen, I'm sorry. Svilikis diagonal run. One-on-one, San Filippo. Top of the 18 with their right-footed shot. This one whistles high and up over the bar.
Svilikis, I tell you what, we were saying that last year that he's a dangerous player. But he's also the one that scored against Montreal to put him up 2-1.
Here's a look at the breakout. Eli Allen and Bracalello setting the table, and a good diagonal run. Look at that, cutting across.
Yep. He took one touch and a shot.
It's off the mark, and Rochester with possession at midfield now with Greenfield. Here's Kissy. Look at that stride. Look at that. Just those legs spread apart, closing the distance.
And I think, obviously he's going to be somebody to contend with as he gets more playing time and gets comfortable.
There's Nunez. Back to Spicer. Crosses. Bennett with the header. Warren takes it off his head.
Yeah, and that's a cross, okay, when you get a ball that sits up in the air like that, where the goalie's going to have the advantage, especially a tall goalie like Warren, Scott Vallow, and even Kitson. They're all capable of coming out and getting those balls.
That was just sitting on the top of Bennett's head, but Warren easily takes it off his head.
You can see Menyunger there starting to push up forward. And he's kind of hungry for that goal.
Oh, is he ever? Red well there by Friedland, a good hard challenge. Roseland and Friedland.
There's a switch.
He's cramping up. He's down. And the referee will stop the play here.
Call. It's a bad call on the officiating. That's not a serious injury.
That's the thing.
You can't be calling that. That's a cramp. That's a conditioning issue. And that should be a disadvantage to the other team.
It's a great point. Bob Lilly and the rest of the Rhinos sideline furious with the call, and I agree. You're right, conditioning issue. He's not severely injured.
Yep. And now we stop time, and, this is the bad part of soccer. I mean, if it was a serious injury, you're sitting there going, okay, you make that call, but you don't stop the play when you're going forward.
So they're going to make a change here. It's going to be Scott Lorenz who checks in. I assume it'll be our cramp sufferer, Friedland. We'll see if it is. That's a bad call. Stops the flow of the game, takes away the opportunity, and it is Friedland who's going to come off. So a huge break for Minnesota.
And you can see San Filippo's extremely upset with it. You had a great counterattack opportunity there, and now they've eliminated that.
So Lorenz will come on for Friedland, the 22-year-old, making his third appearance in the 90th minute. And in a 0-0 game, Minnesota getting a huge break with that stoppage of play. I don't think I've ever seen a stoppage just for a cramp like that. No. Not till the ball's out of bounds or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that's a rookie move.
So Rochester is given possession, middle of the field, pitch Colin. Roseland and Wasson fighting for the ball. Marengo beats Nunez to it. Then Younger is dumped by Pitch Colin. And they're going to call a foul, and Pitch Colin's going to go in the book. 90th minute, second yellow card.
I think that the official now is losing it a little bit. That's just a bad call. I mean, I don't say that wasn't a foul, but he took personal offense to that. They were criticizing his previous call, and he pulls out a yellow card for it.
Pitch Colin was one of those vocal ones. 4 minutes of stoppage time.
4 minutes of stoppage time.
They're in stoppage time now. Top of the 18, Roberts pops this one straight up in the air. Headed forward now to Menyanger. Cutting to his right. 30 yards out. Takes a shot. And Vallow sliding to his left. Able to hang on to that one. Quick put on the ground. It's going to find Spicer at midfield. Heads it down to Nunez. Back to Spicer. Troy Roberts now. Stoppage time, 0-0, long ball.
Yep.
Bennett can't get over Lorenz there. And Lorenz will just pop this one in the middle of the field. Pitch Cullen, a dangerous header backwards. And Greenfield able to come in hard with the challenge. Save his midfielder there. Spicer.
Yeah, we got to get the ball in the box here at this point. Get numbers up there.
Sanfilippo. Little chip into the box. Looking for Kissy. Gets his head on it. And they're going to say he's offsides anyways. It's those long, high balls that give the referee's assistant plenty of time to look up and make the right call there.
I don't know. There seemed to be a lot of people in the box there.
Yeah, I was surprised too, but that may be a looper giving the assistant enough time to assess the situation. There's Warren with it now. We've played about a minute and a half of the 4 minutes. Lorenz now. Looking for Bracalello. Sanfilippo will break it up instead. Marengo now. He'll just push it into the Rhinos' half of the field, and Minnesota obviously content to get out of here scoreless. Not if Roseland and Bennett have something to say here on the far side. Bennett trying to turn the corner. Lorenz just sticks the foot in there to knock it away. It's Menyanger. Eli Allen. Middle of the field, no one there for Minnesota. Greenfield with some space. Center circle, it's Rosenland. Kissy turning, looking to go towards goal. He can't do it there as Menyanger's got some space now to start a little counterattack for Minnesota.
Savelicus is all alone in the middle.
Bracalello.
They're getting numbers forward here.
There's Wasson off his chest, top of the 18. Trying to feed it into Menyanger. Greenfield broke that play up. Clements to start the attack once again. Clavity. Almost halfway, more than halfway through stoppage time. Arango. Giveaway here. Bennett. Players go down. Bennett comes away with the ball, crossing midfield. Sanfilippo on the far side, back in the middle of the park. Pitch Colin. And it's going to get away from him, and Spicer, it's over his head. Throw-in coming up for Clements.
And I mean, they're going to waste as much time as they can here.
About a minute left here in stoppage time. There's Bracalello chipping it, settling it. Spicer on his back. And a throw-in, good pressure from Nunez and Spicer. Kissy. Lays it off here for pitch Colin. Sanfilippo tracking back for it, able to keep it inbounds on the far side. There's Bellamy.
There you go, Bellamy.
Long one into the box and headed away to Bracalello. Just boots one downfield looking for Savelicus. Vallow's off his line. He'll play it off his chest, showing his
what a ball. That's a good ball.
Spicer off his chest, top of the 18. He gets tangled up with Clements, lays it off for Warren. Vallow almost the hero with a beautiful assist. And that'll do it. Dejet Tika ends it after 90 plus minutes. Rochester and Minnesota end up scoreless this evening. And 3 points not in the cards this evening, Coach, for Rochester.
No, and to be home and to tie, it's almost like losing. And I know when we had our run of championships at Frontier Field, it was disappointing whenever we tied, and I'm sure that the team feels the same way. They want to put on a good show for the fans, and the opportunities were limited tonight. And to me, when you give away points at home, it's like a loss.
So for Minnesota, Coach, they were 0-5-1 before winning last week, and Manny Lagos and the Stars probably walk out of here pretty confident.
Yeah, I think they came in with a purpose. Their purpose was, let's limit the amount of opportunities. Let's limit goals against us. We've given up 19 goals. If we don't give up goals, we always have an opportunity to win. So I think that's what their focus is right now. Let's not give up any goals. And, they did a good job of that tonight. They limited very few opportunities, although we broke them down a few times. And you could see that Manny Lagos is happy with that result. I don't think we would be happy with that result on the road, so that's the difference.
So resulting now with the records, Rochester is 4-3-3. They do pick up a point this evening. That's now 15 points for the Rhinos. Minnesota's 3-7-2 with the point they pick up. They have 11 points, and Coach Rochester 15 points, and they're still in the battle here in the USL Conference with the Austin and Tampa Bay ahead of them. 18 points, Austin with 20 points. So Rochester, with the win tonight, would have been just 1 point behind FC Tampa, but not meant to be. Coach, your final thoughts on the TV side of things?
Well, I think the broadcast went well. It was nice to be on with you.
Great to have you. Great to have you.
So I appreciate that. Obviously, I would have liked to have had a little more to talk about in regards to goals for. But you got to give hats off to Minnesota. They came in here, they've been struggling, and they did tonight what they needed to do was get out of here with a tie and get a point, and not lose.
Coach, next Saturday, Crystal Palace Baltimore comes to town. It's on June the 12th, 7 p.m. kickoff, and a little revenge on the line there for the Rhinos and Crystal Palace Baltimore. All right, for the TV coverage, we're going to wrap it up for this evening. Stick around on the radio side of things for the post-game call-in show. That is your final score this evening. Rochester and Minnesota end up at zeros. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's coverage. Thanks to our television producer, John Catalano. You've been listening and watching Rhinos Soccer on the Rhinos Broadcast Network.